Hello everyone, today is our second tutorial on Python, and in this tutorial we will learn Python variables which are names, and we will start learning core data types, and namely we will take a closer look at numbers. Just to remind, in the previous tutorial we discussed Python features. We discussed installation of Python on Windows and Unix. And we have also discussed how to install Linux Ubuntu on VirtualBox. So if you haven't watched it, feel free to do it. So Python variables are basically names. So names refer to objects. I made a quick drawing. I'm not that good at drawing, but still. So basically we have a variable which is a name A, and we have a variable which is a name B. And let's say that name references object, which means A is equal to 8. So basically the name references an object 8. In our case, B references the same object, which is 8. So let's try to code it just to see how it looks in code. So let's just comment this out. We learned comment in the previous tutorial. And let's code it. So let's make a variable which is the name A, and let's assign a value of 8 to it. And now let's do variable B, which is equal to A. And how would we check that A references object 8 and B just references the same object? There is a command in Python which is called id. So basically we can print the id of A, and it will just show us a number which is basically a cell in the memory that holds the value of 8. So let's run it and see what it shows. So we get this number. And now let's do the same with the name B. So let's just copy paste it, but let's put B in here. So if we run it, we get exactly the same number. So if we take a look at this picture again, we see that A references object 8 and B references object 8. And in our case, object 8 has this number in the memory, in the RAM memory. So hopefully it's a bit clear. Let's take a closer example. Let's now assign the value of 9 to B. So previously it was the numbers were equal, the ID numbers of both names were equal, and now let's run it now. So now as you see, number changed. So basically now the name B references a different object in the memory. So now this line is just broken. So B is not referencing 8 anymore. This kind of link is broken, and B is now references a different object in the memory. That's how variables, which are names, work in Python. It's a bit different from other programming languages, but that's how it is in Python. So let's move on and start taking a look at core data types. So basically in Python there are 5 core data types, which is numbers, which is strings, lists, tuples, and dictionaries. So each of them are important to know, but in this video we will just take a closer look at numbers. We will obviously take a closer look at each single data type in future tutorials. So let's remove everything from here, and now let's just create a new variable and let's assign a value of 8 to it. We actually did it before, but let's just do it again. And let's create a new another variable, and let's assign a value of 5.5. So basically, both of them are numeric values, but the name B would hold a floating number, while the name A would hold an equal number. We can actually find it out by checking the type of each of these variables. So if we type print and then type A, and we will do the same with B. And let's run it, and we get and we see that A is of an integer class, which is just a number, and then B, which is 5.5, it's a floating number and the class is float, but the data type for both of them is a number. What can we do with numbers, really? We can actually use Python as a basic calculator, so let's do the same here. Let's make A equal to 5, and let's make B equal to 7.5. So what can we do? We can add both variables, let's say A plus B. We get the value. We can multiply this variable, let's say A multiplied by B, and we get the value. We can add just a number to this variable, let's say A plus 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. We can just add two numbers, let's say 456 plus 543, and we get the value. We can divide numbers, same way. And we can basically do everything that a basic calculator can do here in Python. We can basically, let's do A plus B plus 8 plus B multiplied by B multiplied by A divided by A and multiplied by B. And we get the value of all this. So basically, at first the multiply operation will be done, and then we will add the rest to it. So that's how numbers work in Python. Just to mention, we can there is a module which is kind of like a library which we can import and use, which is called random. And by using it, if we want to choose a random number from, let's say, 1 to 5, we can just make the computer choose it for us. So we can make Python choose it for us. So if we want to use it, we want to import, there is a special word import, and then we import the library called random. So now once it's imported, we can actually use it. So let's assign a value, like a random value, to one of our variables. Let's make a variable n. We didn't use it before, so let's assign a value of random, and we want choice, and we actually want the value to be either 5 or 7 or 8 or 12 or 34 or 66 or 78. So we want a random value to be one of these values. Let's say that you are making a lottery and you assign each person a number, and you just want a computer to choose a winner. So each single person has their name, has their number. So let's say person 1 has number 5, then 7, 8, 12, and you want the computer to choose a value. So you print n, and let's see what happens. Run, and we get 34. Let's run it once again, and we get 34 again. It's just a computer making the same choice. Let's run it once again and we get 8. So let's run it once again and we get 66. To run it without clicking on run and tutorial, we can just choose Shift F10 and run it this way. Shift F10, 66, again 12, again 66, again 66, again 8. We can actually add as many numbers here as we want. So 789, 435, like this, and we can run it each single time, and each single time a computer will do a choice for you. I think that's it for today. In the future tutorial, we will learn strings, which is a bit more fun. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and feel free to ask any of your questions in comments. I'll try to answer them. Have a good day and bye bye.